What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going over the Festival of the Lost 2021 and why I think it just simply is a flop and Bungie needs to reimagine their seasonal events. And since my last video, a lot of you guys have reached out to me on Twitter asking what was up. I was on vacation and it's just that point of the season where I kind of stopped uploading. I'm usually motivated to make videos when I'm playing and enjoying the game, and we're definitely at that point in the season where that is not the case. But with all that being said, I hope to not just disappear until December and have a few videos here and there for you guys. And with the way Festival of Lost has been handled this year, along with some announcements yesterday on Reddit and Twitter, if you're anything like me, you've probably been bolding at a faster rate. So before we get into today's video, a quick word about how you can prevent that. This video is sponsored by Keeps. Keeps is a subscription service that focuses on making it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness online. And did you know that 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35? And the best way to prevent hair loss is do something about it while you still have the hair left and not after it's already gone. And Keeps treatments typically take between 4 and 6 months to start seeing results. So it's important to start fast, and for someone like me in their mid-20s and starting to see the early signs of a bald spot starting, this is the perfect time to start, not when I'm in my 30s and I already have a full-fledged spot on the top of my head. And Keeps is trusted by hundreds of thousands of men for their hair loss prevention, and they also have more 5-star reviews than any of their competitors. And it's super simple because a licensed doctor will review your information online and get the right hair loss treatment for you, then be shipped directly to your door every 3 months. So if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/air or click the link in the description to receive 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/air. Once again, thanks to Keeps for sponsoring today's video. So this video will be mostly a rant about my thoughts on Festival of Lost. So let's just go and begin. First, looking at the loot from the event, because we all know loot is what drives players to play Destiny 2 and what makes a lot of the good content. So from the event itself, from actually playing the haunted sectors, all you can get is 6 masks, which are pretty much irrelevant in the entire game. At this point, they're just bad helmets that look a little bit funny because they don't even give you benefits for haunted lost sectors like the old ones used to do for the haunted forest. The only reason to have them on is just to simply get the currencies from the event, and outside of that, they are pretty much pointless. Then you can get 1 new pulse rifle, and if you guys can see me, I'm doing air quotes for new because I'm pretty sure it's just reskin, and its perks are alright, nothing too special. Then you can also get the 2 old ARs, both of which are 450s, so really it's only 1 AR, and between their 2 perk pools, none of them really have good PvE rolls. Maybe if you combine both of the perk pools into one, you might get a good roll there, but honestly both of them are pretty bad for PvE. Then outside of that, the only other thing I believe you can get from the event itself is one of the sparrows. So from playing the event itself, there is not that much to look forward to, but from Eververse, you have all kinds of things. For example, 3 entirely new armor sets, 1 for each character. You have a bunch of emotes, finishers, a sparrow, and even a ship, I believe. So all the cool cosmetics are in the Eververse store, and from playing the event itself, there is not that much. And that is my first major complaint with events in Destiny 2 right now. Honestly, you could just log in, look through the Eververse store and get what you want, and just log out and be done with the event. There is almost no reason to actually play the event itself, unless you're going for the pulse rifle, which there are, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, better pulse rifles in the game anyways. So even at that, it's not really worth the grind. So overall, it just seems that these events are just Eververse cash grabs, and that is their sole purpose. Then we move on to the gameplay loop. The way Festival of Lost 2021 works is first you have to get candy and pages, and it seems like the most efficient way to get candy is from Expunge right now, and the most efficient way to get pages is just running the Lake of Shadow Strike on the map version. I believe you get 2 or 3 per run, and you can do runs easily in roughly 2 to 3 minutes. But since the event has started, Bungie has throttled different speeds of getting pages and candy to make it match up with the rate they wanted, to make sure people don't burn through the event super quick. Which also leads me to the haunted sectors, which in theory are pretty cool. I like the overall concept, but 2 things about these sectors just completely are red flags for me. The first being that it's capped to 10 per run. I've only solo queued in these haunted sectors, and I have easily gone to the 10 cap with a minute plus every single time. So surely once you get to the cap of 10 headless ones, the activity will end and it will start the boss fight, correct? No, that is just not how it works. Even once you kill the 10 mini bosses, you still have to wait the full timer out for the boss fight to begin. So it's yet another way of Bungie trying to manipulate the player time and make sure it's exactly what they want. If we're gonna have to wait out the entire timer, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to do more than 10 until the time runs out and get more and more loot. Or if you're gonna cap it to 10, make it stop once you kill the 10th one and start the boss fight. At every single stop of this gameplay loop, it just seems like Bungie is throttling the speed that we can do to artificially increase the playtime hours throughout this event and kind of give a mid-season bump to their investors, whatever it is. Just everywhere you look, we want you to get this much candy per minute, this many pages per minute, and we want the Lost Sector to take exactly this much time, and you can only get 10 per run. Everywhere you look in this event is just throttled to whatever speed they want. I'd say the only positive to interacting with the event itself is the weapon drop rate from the haunted sectors. That is definitely pretty high and pretty good, but once again, between the 3 weapons, there isn't really too much to look forward to, so unless you want a very specific role on one of them, that isn't enough to get me in the event. So what went wrong and what can Bungie look at to make future events better? Well, one is just where the loot is coming from. I think the amount of loot they make per event is definitely alright. They don't need to make more. It's just the way we interact with it and get it. I think too much of it is tied up to the Eververse store. I remember back in the day with events, you would actually play the event to get the event armor, but now you could get it in 4 seconds the second you log in and just buy it from the Eververse store and never interact with the event. And that just simply doesn't make sense to me. I think the ornament sets and also whatever new weapon should be tied to the actual event. Then everything else, if you want the old armor sets, the emotes, the finishers, whatever it is, the mask, put all that stuff in the Eververse store. But I just think there needs to be more tied to the event itself to actually give us a reason to play it outside of just logging in for the Eververse store. The second thing that they did completely wrong is they're just very clearly pushing for like a player time number that they want to show off to their higher ups or investors, whatever it is, with the way they instantly throttle different ways to get candy, pages, whatever it is. Also, the sectors capping at 10 and making you wait out the timer is just like so obvious to me that they're just trying to push up playtime numbers with this event, and I just think that is wrong, and we should be allowed to play at the rate we want. And not only that, with the haunted sectors being capped at 10 and you have to wait out the timer, there's no reason to get better at the haunted sectors. They're set up in a way that you're practically guaranteed to get the max rewards from them, compared to the old Festival Lost event, the haunted forest, where there was just a timer and you could go as many rounds as you could before the time ran out, and the more rounds you did, the better loot you got. And during that event, every single time you ran the haunted forest, you get a little bit better every single time. And I think that is a core thing about playing video games in general, that every single time you log in, you want to see tiny improvements every single time you play, whether that be in your character's build, your character's armor, your character's abilities, your actual mechanical abilities yourself, learning how to do an activity slightly better, whatever it is. I think that's a very essential part of playing video games at their core, and that is simply nowhere to be found with this event and the way it is set up. You can pretty much AFK the haunted sectors and get the 10 mini bosses and get the full loot. Then the rest of the gameplay loop is playing old activities that you've been playing for 4 years. And when the rewards are masks that serve no other purpose outside of cosmetics, then a pulse rifle that isn't even better than most other pulses in the game, you just simply don't see any improvement anywhere in the game when you play this event, whether that be in your gameplay, your character, whatever it is just simply not there. And overall, I think that is all my complaints about Festival of the Lost. I think the only defense a lot of people will have is that the seasonal events are free. But if you pay attention to most of my arguments aren't about them needing to make more content. This is the way they present the content and where they put the loot and things like that. Anyways, like usual, I definitely want to know what you guys think about this topic. Once again, thanks to Keeps for sponsoring today's video. I plan on uploading a few more times in October, so definitely look forward to those. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.